You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. In no other better freaking place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, lunch with no other than the dynamic duo, Laz and Jack.
And greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
This is Jack. Welcome to Lunch with Laz and Jack, where we interpret the news so you don't have to.
That's right. Welcome to the show today, everybody. Today is Tuesday, July 5th, 2016, here in Shroud, Avatar, for the record. How's everybody doing out there? We got a special guest in studio. He'll be back with us in a minute. And what's going on?
Yes, he did step away for a little bit. Well, we do have a new patch coming soon. It's not yet published out onto Steam or onto the actual patch server, but I do expect that to be out there really soon. So we do have patch notes that we can discuss.
That's right. Coming out soon to a computer near you.
Exactly. So still stuck on 437.
Now, of course, no word on the property split here at all.
Not yet. I hope they do get that resolved, just because that also impacts some of the other maze building that 4B was doing, although they haven't done it in a while, and it can create other issues. But I want my property lines back the way they were, because I don't like the earth being sundered.
I like the idea of being able to join the properties. Now, I hadn't taken a walk up the street to see where the other properties we used to be on were like, to see if the same thing happened up there. What's that?
Sorry, have you guys heard of the Para Sky tournament tonight? About gusting people off cliffs and whatnot?
Sounds like the old shuttered eye. That's how Gustball got created, for anybody who doesn't know history.
There's a tournament
blowing
City.
each other off. Yeah.
At
8 p.m.
We used to be able to get to the very top of the tower of the shuttered eye, and gust was a very popular new smell. And they would have tournaments to gust each other off the top of the shuttered eye, and we'd sit down there at the bottom and film people falling to their death. Now, all sorts of fun bugs back, like zoning to somebody after you've been gusted off would magically play Superman, and you would show back up without dying if you did it right. All sorts of fun stuff back in the day. Talk about the old days. The game's got a long history. We haven't even made it to launch yet.
Well, it's kind of like
a Gust tournament tonight at 8 p.m. in Owl Sky City.
Owl Sky City, for those of you folks who don't know, is a little north of us here in the Hidden Vale. And is that on the calendar? Do we know, Scrota?
No, it's not on the calendar right now.
Okay.
Let's check the forums, see if it's there.
Let's see what we got out on the forums for the folks there.
What should I play?
Let's see if we can find
something cool.
You should play something
suave,
something entertaining.
Relaxing.
Yeah.
I'll go with neither.
Yeah.
Neither of those.
Want to say hello, Blood Omen, Kush Lady out there. Who else we got joining us today in chat?
We also have
Jesus.
we got Blood Omen. That's all that matters. And Wendy Howard. I don't.
We got
Jesus and Gee.
Can't knock a Kush Lady. Yeah, she's here every day. Change tip.
Scrota.
Botox.
Well, I'm Botox, change tip, a Kush Lady. Yep. But Blood Omen's over in my channel, so he gets the special commendation.
We'll see. Blood Omen's in both channels.
Yeah, that's right. He's using multi-Twitch.
Man, keep up on the conversation in both places. And for those of you folks who may be joining us for the first time, just tuning in and listening, is we are broadcasting live on NBNN.info. We are broadcasting on Twitch TV. We are broadcasting on YouTube. We are broadcasting on WRFB.rocks, RadioFreeBritannia.com. All those places you can listen to us, as well as on your ether vibration amplifiers in the game. You'll find a couple of those right in front of us here at the studio. Come join us. Come tell us about your day. Talk to us about what's going on in your life in Shroud and the Avatar. And speaking of such, is of course we're coming off the weekend, Lord British's birthday bash. All sorts of events were going on out there. We're going to see what kind of stories we got coming out of the weekend. We got Winfield joining us here in room to tell us about some upcoming things here.
Related to SodaCon.
SodaCon.
Yeah, that's always going to be interesting. Yeah. So let's go ahead and did you get that link that I sent you for the Owlsky Arena PvP tournament?
I see it here. We'll put this up on screen for everybody.
That way we can talk about it. If I can ever find monitor to capture. Okay, so Owl, the PvP guild, is going to invite everyone to come out to the Owl Sky City, which is right next to Owl's Head. This is not your typical PvP match. Any level can take home the championship. If you force your opponent to fall from the arena, you win. If you kill your opponent, you win. All builds are permitted, but knockback abilities are advised. Such skills as Gust, Piercing Breeze, Push, Knockback are strong as it only takes one well-timed knockback skill to win the fight against those pesky level 100s. And so then from there, that is going to be Tuesday, July 5th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time or New Britannia time. And after that, it is going to become a weekly competition out in Owl Sky City. Following this week's competition, it's going to be Mondays at 8 p.m. And then the grand prize for today is going to be 75,000 gold, followed by second place is 50,000, 25,000 for third.
Nice.
And we actually have some of the pictures of the new I don't even know what to call this, arena on top of a Duke Keep. And then from there, we also have some of the older ones where you could really see that they had actually set up all these things on top, way up in the sky. So
I want to comment.
It became a little bit
on the nice use, of course, of Soda Map by Jacob White. One of the great uses for Soda Map is to show folks and showcase where you're at, give people directions to events like this. We had a couple flubs with some events over the weekend. We'll talk about that briefly, I'm sure. And
well,
of course,
how many?
yes.
I've got Para, who actually has got me in chat saying thank you for the shout-outs for the event, and thank you to Marguerite McLean for getting.
It's a lot of chessboards.
What's that?
That's a lot of chessboards.
Yeah.
Scrota. Scrota's the one that deserves all the thanks here. I didn't
welcome.
even say scrotum.
Well,
You're
I'm
the one that said it for me.
what the man said. Okay. I'm just quoting
Yes.
what Paris said. And of course, Marguerite's one of our favorites. She's out there in the audience today. Marguerite's always cool and fun to hang out with. She kicks ass and she heals.
And she takes names.
That's right.
And
Hopefully
chews
my name's
bubble
not in
gum.
the black book.
And then Dieter is chiming in. He's got... he's hiring, I believe. Is that what he's got? No, I got people passing me stuff. I got to sort that out. But we'll get that sorted as we go. We got other stuff in the news to cover. Again, we got Winfield here. Got to complain to Gix as to where our skulls went. I just want to know why. I
For
can't juggle
juggling?
skulls.
Oh, he
Yes,
mentioned
it's-
that it's going to be. Look in the game chat.
Yeah, I know. I saw him apologize.
Premium
skull.
juggleable item. So premium,
And
which
others.
means that you, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get to pay for that one.
So you get to pay for skulls. Now the real question is, if you look what he's doing right now, he's actually smoking a pipe. So that is coming very, very soon.
Yes.
You can't see Gix smoking his pipe.
Smoking a long pipe.
It's in the angle of the lighting and stuff. It's a little tough, but yes. And that's
sucker.
right.
Yes. So pipes are being worked on by Scotty. There will be a ornate pipe that is available in the add-on store. Then you also have craftable pipes in game. So there will be a variety of pipes in game, which will actually make it a little bit more interesting.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Yes.
Love
And
all
they are
this
still
shit.
a work in
Have I
process.
said that lately? I love this shit.
Love this shit.
Oh, we all love this shit. That's why we're here.
Puffing some nightshade with frost shocks out there.
Yeah.
Stella!
Got some
Oh,
premium
Stella.
nightshade on my
Showing
property.
Yep.
us out there. Thanks, guys. Now we
Okay,
got,
so
we got Winfield.
we
here.
do not. Yeah. Well, is Winfield back yet?
I don't think he's come back yet.
I thought I.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, he's there.
Ah,
And Casey Cupcakes.
And cupcakes. Sup, cupcake?
okay. Hi, Casey.
Hi, Casey.
So we do have some new news on SodaCon. Do you want to go ahead and brief us on that real quick? If
Ooh,
you
don't
would.
puke on me.
That would be greatly appreciated, Winfield.
Yep,
You can talk
I can,
about your new role.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I'm taking on a role in SodaCon 2016 Baltimore Gathering. It is the 4th through the 6th of November in Baltimore, Inner Harbor. So 4th through 6th November, SodaCon 2016 at the Holiday Inn, Inner Harbor.
Very nice.
So what I am doing is I'm helping arrange vendors and work with attendees and work with radio guys and news guys like NBNN here. So we're arranging all kinds of really cool stuff for attendees and radio and vendors to do at the 2 or 3 day event there that will hopefully be 100 to 300 people. It's a max capacity of about 300. If we get 50, that's great. If we get 100, fantastic. The confirmed developer who's going to be there right now is Star Long. Darkstar himself will be there.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah.
So, lads, you got all these claps thing like you do in our other meetings?
I do, but see, you
Well,
don't hear them
he-
because
yeah,
you're
they're
not
only in
on
TeamSpeak.
Oh, okay. All right.
Discord doesn't
And-
have a way for us to do that I've found that works works properly. Let's put it that way.
It
So you'll
goes out
have
on
to
the-
facsimile that with your own voice then.
Yay!
There you go.
Yay. I was going to say,
That's odd.
don't forget that SodaCon does have a GoFundMe page right now, and so far they have raised $1,670 of the $15,000 goal. And the more money that is received, the more stuff that gets to happen, and the more developers show up.
That's right.
And if you sign up early, you get to be a VIP or some such.
That is
Yes.
correct. If you donate amount and you sign up early, so about 10% funded right now through a GoFundMe. And what the goal is to be able to ratchet this up and continue to add more capabilities into the conference. Add the second room that'll have the game playing room with board games and lots of people LARPing around, perhaps, kind of stuff. Live action role playing. People are encouraged to come in costume if they want to. And so it's just going to be a real gala event of about 3 panels, a couple of technical panels, and some storyline panels going on. And like I say, as we get more funds, as more funds come in through donations rather than registration, right now there's no registration fee. It's based on donations. And that is the goal. We get enough donations in that nobody has to have a registration fee other than pay for their hotels and their food and all that kind of stuff, and transportation to get there. So you could have fun there and donate what you can. If you can't come, donate. Working with NBNN here, we just met a few minutes ago. We're talking about, you guys can say what you potentially want to do in a moment here, perhaps, of what NBNN can do at the conference. If all the stars align and stuff. But it's going to be a great event. It's going to be a family kind of thing because there's the aquarium there, the ship is there with the Constitution. There's actually a big Steelers are in town or something like that. So there's a huge amount of things that can happen in Baltimore over that weekend. So also
town to do other things in as well.
Exactly. So it's going to be, we're going to descend on that area. It is the SodaCon is something that can be mirrored and mimicked throughout the world for how things are set up, and it can be an event at hotels around the world, or it can be an event at theme parks or wherever. It's just to kind of get the SodaCon kind of thing going. Around the world, supporting Shroud of the Avatar, supporting the players, and connecting players to people and the developers in a very casual-ish kind of setting, very open kind of discussions and stuff, and get to know each other.
That's right, getting to know you. Now we know each other quite well after Hoblots, I tell you. Got all.
I will bring my spoon.
Bring the spoon of speaking.
The spoon of storytelling and spoon of fishing.
The spoon of fishing. Fish.
That spoon did have fish on it. Yes, it did.
Definitely had plenty of carcass on it.
Now, I had people ask me, what is that? When you
what the heck is that?
Fish carcass.
Yeah. The fish was
I even went in and disrupted the live action event. If you see a lot of those images on Facebook that I put out, I tried to get these guys to react to my fish, spoon walking around and shoving it in their faces while they were doing sword practice. Very few of them flinched. I have to hand it to them. They were so focused on their valor and on the instructor. They probably thought I was crazy, and they should have just stabbed me. Nobody did, though. I'm surprised.
Now,
but also, go ahead.
I was
going to ask.
Did you talk
go
about
ahead,
did we get into the stop over at Bristol? Did you touch on all that yet?
That is what I was just going to go into. You're reading my mind. Yeah. So this East Coast thing is kind of set up so that people can go to a soda kind of convention and meet developers and meet players and one big cluster for people who don't necessarily can fly or drive to Austin, let's say, or to San Francisco or something where you can meet various people. So to make things easier, I'm trying to set up a rally point in Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol, Virginia. It's in the Appalachian Mountains. It's on Highway 81. So Bristol, Virginia, look it up on the map. If you can get to Bristol, Virginia by car, we will depart the 3rd of November and drive 6 to 8 hours to get to Baltimore in a caravan and a minivan and that kind of thing. And you can leave your cars in Bristol because I have a house here as well. So this is what I'm trying to set up, and I'll get information out so that people can kind of say, hey, I'm interested in that. And we're already finding people along different corridors to get to Bristol, then up the 81 corridor to Baltimore that can leverage off other people driving that distance in that way. So I think if we set up different waypoints and rally points, and Bristol, Virginia is going to be one of those, I hope.
To help people.
So that's the plan.
Make the travel for those who have distances to cover, and may want to take pit stops along the way. Absolutely.
Yeah, I hope to participate.
Yeah, so people coming and you can come into Bristol a couple of days. Come in a couple of days early into Bristol and hang out and do things. Hike the mountains. Go to the Bristol Raceway, the NASCAR racetrack. They probably don't have an event at the time, but they might have some drag racing. Who knows outside that? But we can always tour the NASCAR
Well, we can always create
quarter
our
mile
own
track
drag
there.
racing, right?
Yeah, there's plenty of that here in the back, logging trails. So, Mark, Bristol, Virginia, we would depart at 8 a.m., 3 November. On that Thursday, we would return by 9 p.m. or 10 o'clock p.m. on Sunday, the 6th of November, which means you'd want to spend the night in Bristol if you can. And we got hotels and places to camp out and everything. Of course, November, I don't know if the campgrounds are open. Anyway, something to mark on your, and we'll try to get everybody to and from the conference from this region of the U.S. easily as we can and as cheaply as possible.
Sounds like a plan. And of
Always a plan.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best to get as much coverage as we can out there. You know how we do it. We run around with cameras. We try and do live streaming whenever we can. That's just going to depend on the facilities themselves, but we always bring home video for everybody.
Yeah, really looking forward to NBNN being there if you can. And just, you know, you've done so much at the Hubloss and everything else that just makes these things come to life for people who can't be there.
Yeah, we love doing what we do. I think
Maybe I should write a newspaper.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, speaking of newspapers,
I need to.
You
I
haven't
need to write more
written anything lately on.
Well, I started
Cynicism.
to write something about the sundering of Owl's Head and the fact that there's this massive path that was not there between our properties. I started that, but then I kind of lost my direction. I think there was a squirrel outside my window or something.
Squirrel.
Yes.
Squirrel.
But I need the proper motivation.
Yeah, well, come on, that's motivation. We've bug reported it. We haven't seen anything said about it. Right.
Yeah.
Even Gix is sitting on this side because he can't see what's going on because the property's been pushed down.
Because I moved. He wants to be near the music.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah, that too.
Killing me.
Well, he is doing the drunk sway, so he is kind of having
that
problems.
now functional? Oh, very interesting. Speaking of drunk sway, I gotta see this.
Yeah, he can barely sit up.
In my seat? No, I like that.
Yeah, so Gix has all the fun stuff to where he gets to demonstrate that for us. He's demonstrating the pipes for us, now the drunk sway, the puking. He's demonstrated it all.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Maybe
He'll do anything.
Well, you may have to be on 438 for that to work.
Which is now officially out for those of you out there who want to go ahead and patch on up. That should be available. And we want to get the patch notes out to the good folks here today. I got the patch notes ready.
Okay, we do have a set of patch notes for 438, and let me go ahead and pull that up because last I checked, we did not have a stand-up corner since last week. So patch 438 is going to bring some changes. A few pots were changed. Breaker's Landing changed their biome. Elusive Passage also changed their biome and changed their location. Then they fixed a facial hair error. If the camera would be blocked on the right side of the player during conversation, it would switch. It now switches the camera to the left side. It updated the description of Reveal Hidden to note that it only works on hostile targets. Fixed title on Rat's Nest Pot Custom Music. They changed the default for Shift Alpha opens to chat off. NPCs once again will understand answers to their questions if Enable Conversation Close-Ups is disabled.
Nice.
Fix the Demon Skull not being lootable. Yeah. We need more demon skulls. Implemented a fix for resource nodes that were accumulating loot even if interaction was canceled. And fixed bugs with the single roof 2-story with overhang and the shingle roof 2-story with Great Hall. Fixed bugs with the red dress. It now properly comes off.
Oh, baby.
Like a
Take
prom
the
dress.
off.
That's right. Added the rowboat teleporters to keep in Castle Island lots in Erie and Brittany Wharfs. Now you don't have to swim across the water to
Yeah,
get
you
to your
don't have to
property,
swim
lads.
Brittany Wharf to get out to that Duke Castle.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yep. Fix the overworld banners so
Swimming
they
in
no
Brittany's
longer
Wharf.
disappear against the...
Baby.
That's right. Yeah, that's a good way to catch some flesh-eating bacteria.
Right.
Yeah.
Overworld banners no longer disappear against the night sky. Knockback in the bludgeon tree now properly stuns again. And they fix multiple issues with Japheth's sad quest of love. Remember, Japheth is, I believe he is in Soultown. I think. Isn't that where he's at? Added a validation to salvage to ensure that equipable items are never returned. Public vendors are now disabled in offline mode, and the Kiln Cistern added blockers in various locations to prevent exploits via high jump. Aw, man. And they fixed the bug with where glyphs locked to the combat hotbar remain consistent across all decks. Yeah, so now you can have multiple decks again. Fixed bug where system messages did not appear properly when they forced the chat window to open, and fix for keeping in combat even if no current target. Fix for sorting bank inventory by location. Moving a chest that contains a bag no longer produces a fail message, and the Novia Overworld map has received the interactive range for the boat to the Hidden Vale has been returned to normal distance. Made more explicit that Charlotte's disappearance after quest completion in Solus Bridge is intentional. Minor clarifications to Soultown Fire investigation. And journal message added if Charlotte is left behind in Solus Bridge. I guess you have to go back and find her.
Now let's talk about Charlotte here. We've visited Charlotte in the quest several times in the past. And Charlotte is now actually a child, I understand. Is that correct?
That is correct. Charlotte is a child that you're supposed to pick up. And when you transfer out of Solus Bridge, she becomes a summonable item, so she becomes a little whistle.
Ooh, I didn't know that. That's a new one.
Yeah, so I actually did test that on the QA server, so that way I did delete a character and do some of those beginning quests.
The mention in here, correct me if I'm wrong, just from my own mind and knowing, is the mention of that Charlotte disappears intentional. Is once you finish the quest, you never see Charlotte again. Only people who haven't finished
that
the
is
quest
correct.
will now see Charlotte in the scene. Is that correct? Right.
Yeah, that is going to be one of those ones where if you complete the quest, if you go back into Solus Bridge, you do not see Charlotte again.
Right, okay. That's going to be happening throughout the world with certain things as things develop. I believe we've seen that tech in certain books that you find on quests when we go into dungeons and grab a book. Once you've grabbed it, you'll never see it again. Yeah.
I was going to say the first iteration of that was actually Min Liang Tan in the Tower of the Shuttered Eye.
Ah, very good trivia.
Yeah.
Very good trivia there.
And the funny thing about that is Min Liang Tan is the CEO of Razor.
That's
and
right.
Since there is some work between Razor and Portalarium, the funny thing about that is when Portalarium said, hey, we're going to put your NPC in there, the one request that he had was, I want to be a bad guy.
And there it is.
Yep.
Alrighty, so what else we got for the good folks out here today? Again, coming off the weekend, we got, hang on a second.
We still have
the dogs. I'll be right back. I don't know what the hell's going on.
We do have a ton of things related to the post-mortem this coming Thursday that we can still talk about, even though Laz has decided to go AFK temporarily, so we can bring that back up. And do you remember where we were at yesterday, Scrota?
No clue.
And Justin wants to know if if anybody has a red dress available in the studio right now, because she wants to know whether or not the bug that was fixed related to the red dress was that you have legs when you take it off.
I've been meaning to go pick one up, but I haven't yet. I know you can get one in.
See, I don't have a red
Clink.
dress. Yeah. Oh, you didn't grab one from the Clink yet?
Mm-mm. From the cross-dressing warden.
Yep. Yeah. And Winfield actually made it in game.
I am here.
Okay, so So I was going to go over some of the things for the post-mortem on Thursday. I forgot exactly where I was at, so I'm going to just begin with Dancing Shade, who wants to know whether or not there's some of the cloth physics used on clothes being applied to other long pieces of clothing like tunics, robes, and dresses, so they animate dynamically as our avatars move. That is always a possibility, especially as they're going through the levels of detail on cloth fabric and changing things. But we do know that things like the cloaks are actually causing crashes right now, so that's something related to programming on their end.
Unity, I thought.
Unity. Yep, Unity problems. It is a Unity cloth problem. Then he wants to know whether or not some of the original house assets have relatively low resolution brick wall textures, which are very noticeable at 1040 or 1440p. I think that would be 1040p. And hold on.
1440p.
Yeah. It's a new one. It's no longer 1040p. It is now 1440p.
1080p.
1080p.
It's lots of P.
Which one's the 1440? I don't know. 1080p and higher. Do you see LOD restrictions ever being enable such assets to higher resolution, or would performance trade-offs, especially in the largest scenes, prevent this? That is actually going to be a very long technical question, but that's one where there's also been a forum request for greater granularity in controlling some of the levels of detail with slider bars, so people can individually adjust their performance.
I was about to suggest that. That sounds cool.
Yeah. As well as turning off things like the physics on the grass as well, because that all becomes related to performance issues. Then we have a question for Lum, and will there be a storyline further down the road with a focus on Serpent Isle style virtues like order, chaos, and balance instead of courage, love, and truth? That is always a possibility, but probably not the primary focus. Edward Newgate wants to know whether or not there are any plans for complex dungeons and multi-level dungeons like loading zones from level 1 to level 2, etc. with different paths. And then, at the moment, dungeons are really short and don't really are not really inviting for exploring. That is one where as they go through and they create more story-related topics, that's where the dungeons actually become a little bit more interesting and a little bit more exploration. Remember, every scene probably has 3 to 5 Easter eggs in them. So they do try to put hidden rooms, hidden content within each of the dungeons. So there does become a reason for exploring some of them. And
I want to know when you'll be able to play music and move at the same time.
You definitely need the ability to walk around with your lute or your drums and have your little marching band. That is something that's, that's right, and be the bard that you always wanted to be.
Soak up free experience.
That's right. Welcome back. We're covering some of the stand-up questions for the post-mortem right now. Are there any plans to improve enemy placement and behavior? We do know that they are working on AI internally, and so the better that the AI becomes, the more random some of those behaviors become, which actually does improve things. The original way that they were doing enemy placement is they would actually have to put the spawners in individual places, and with some of the changes to that they have talked about, they would come into a scene in waves, and then they would possibly overlap others. So that should actually end up being changed in future releases, especially when they start doing more of the dynamic spawners. So that should be a question about dynamic spawners and then improved monster AI. Protecting healers or archers, getting buffed and angry when a player slays a comrade or surrenders or run away instead of forcing to kill them without what?
I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah. I am on Edward Newgate. His last question. Do you ever think about that typing, shouting to enemies could affect them, like insulting them to get their attention? That would be one where they would actually need to change some of the way that some of those behaviors actually work, and possibly actually make it so that way that taunt actually works in game. The taunt emote might actually be relatively interesting. But that would be a huge change to AI as well. So I don't know whether or not we will see a system like that, because we do have to remember that our dev team is a grand total of 30 people, and they are always working on stuff.
As long as you don't ask them to shout at the fish. The fish don't like to be shouted at.
Well, it depends. If I scare them into where the dynamite's at, then that might actually be for my benefit.
Oh, dynamite fishing. Cool.
Right, you're on Edward Newgate, you said?
Yes. Now on Elnoth. When will the virtue system be in place? Is this planned for the start of persistence or a later date?
I think later.
I think that they're going to be tweaking it all the way up until launch.
All the way through.
We do know all the way through, because we do know things like opening up a player corpse where early in QA there would be no actually outward notification that you actually did something. However, internally they have been tracking that forever, and Lum during the last hangout did actually say that they are no longer going to be tracking opening up human corpses, so that won't actually be a virtue ding.
Very nice, finally.
But that could also become a change. And Abidos's question about, can we expect to have an open PvP server with full loot in the future? We know that is not going to be possible, because everybody's playing on the same game world. So there won't be different servers that you can join.
Not gonna see.
There might be a possibility. Yeah. There might be a possibility later on that they do readdress the open PvP and the full loot, and actually do make some changes there. Will we see some high-level loot from bosses? And can we have wine goblets in game?
Don't we have one guy?
Now we have. I don't think we have actually goblets.
I thought I've seen them on table settings. Maybe not something that we can actually use. I just thought I've seen them. That's all.
I've seen more mugs and tankards that I remember. I don't remember seeing goblets.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah. And then high-level loot from bosses. I don't know if they're ever going to do that, just because they want the best gear in-game to be player-created. But eventually they are going to actually make it so that way anything sold to vendors actually ends up in Monster's loot tables. So that's something that we need to remember and we need to look forward to. Because as soon as that actually makes it into game, that actually makes it really, really entertaining. Then Soda Babe. You looking at Soda Babe?
Yeah, I got Soda Babe up.
Okay. Since players will be able to buy player-owned towns with in-game... No, players will not be able to buy player-owned towns with in-game gold.
Since
Will pots
players will
bought
be
with...
able to buy, no, I'm not sure about that.
No, they won't. They won't be able to buy a player-owned town with in-game gold. So that is one where I don't know how to address this.
Well, there was a
But
comment
player housing,
with that.
yeah.
There would be a path to this in game originally. Whether that's still an idea, still in play, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's no longer in play. So you will not be able to purchase a pot with in-game gold, and you will not be able to.
I don't know.
I don't know if
guess
they'll
we'll
allow.
have to wait for them to officially
I don't know.
answer that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So if they even address this question, so
Now, while you
we'll
do the next
see.
one, I'm gonna go take a peek at something real quick and see what.
Is there a way you can prioritize updating us on the Unity Linux bugs? I've basically stopped playing altogether due to them. I understand it may be out of your control at the moment, but could port be less quiet about it in general? Even hearing the same status over and over again might renew my faith a bit. As of right now, it seems like it will still be broke as fuck for post-final wipe. The game is unplayable in Linux, and I think that deserves a lot more attention.
Yeah, this is. Yeah.
This is where Unity bugs. The sad part is if there's a Unity bug, the game is still technically pre-alpha or early access. It's the game world hasn't gone persistent. The way that Unity works is you fill out a bug report and then you wait for them to fix it. Unless you pay several $1,000s and you have an Unity engineer come out. And this is what Portalarium's already done, and they've been working on it.
And they didn't
we don't
find
have
it,
a.
I thought.
No, they found at least 11 different Unity specific bugs,
But not the main one.
but not the main ones. And so that's one where that engineer is still working on things. Last week they did have a conference call with the Unity engineers in order to figure out where to go from here. So we end up with all of this documentation. The only problem is, like, if we already know this, I mean, how loud do you want them to be? I mean, if we have problems during after final wipe, it's like, damn straight, they're just going to toss Unity under the bus. But it's like, the game is not finalized yet, and it won't be finalized until November, December, somewhere in there. And so, yeah, it's like, it's more stable than most alpha games that are out there.
Yeah.
So,
By a mile,
it's a shame.
many of them.
yeah.
But meanwhile,
Yeah.
did you see what I dropped in chat there? That's still listed on the player-owned town. So apparently there is still a plan to allow people to buy player-owned towns in the game.
To achieve, yeah, they will not be overworld maps, those.
I
Yeah.
don't believe so. I mean, that I
Yeah.
can probably say, but I'm going to look forward to seeing an answer to this on Thursday here.
Yeah, if they even address that topic with the path to purchasing a town in-game gold. Remember something that even a castle lot that they've talked about on various postmortems, they, for like single player offline mode, they have talked about the castle lots being insanely expensive, something like 120 million.
Sell your soul.
Yeah, you essentially have to sell your soul and all of your
That's
children.
right.
So we will see what ends up happening. Yeah, real cheap. Then when will the cooking skill get some attention? What are the future plans for cooking? That is something where they are working on all of that. They will actually work on crafting later on. Let's see. Can you please explain the future lot deed lottery system will work?
Not a lottery. Nobody said the word
We'll
lottery.
find. We'll
It's in the patch
we'll
notes.
find out eventually.
Is it in the patch notes?
We'll find out eventually. We'll find out eventually. And then everybody's going to forget because they're going to keep on changing things. So it's all going to.
Yeah, it
change.
says lottery in the patch notes.
Yeah.
I gotta see this.
Will there be a separate permission for basements when the rent a room feature is implemented? It would be advantageous to be able to separate permissions for basements to allow people more flexibility in how their lots are used. An avatar could rent rooms in their basements and leave the house proper restricted to their own use. Or for those who would like to use the above ground portion of their property for public facilities, set the lot for public access and reserve the basement for their own living space, restricting access to themselves, their guests, and kindred.
Boy, that was a breath.
Yes. Yeah, it was. And then question 2, would it be possible to, at the same time, yes, permissions still need more granularity. I would like to see checkboxes instead of the drop-down list, because right now the permission system is confusing, to say the least.
Now, if I want to make this, chest that I've got behind me, the permissions just are not very user-friendly. Let's put it that way.
Well, the funny thing is, like, if I go to permissions options, that's the lot item permissions. That's not even the item permissions. It's one where it becomes really kind of confusing on what you can and can't do.
Yeah. I've got a list of permissions in front of me now that can choke a horse for a chest. Well, the one is the lot permissions that come up when you click on options there, but
yeah.
So I've actually played around with that a little bit, and it takes a little getting used to, but extreme flexibility they're putting into it. Now, interface could be better, but the stuff that you can do with this is really cool. We can make mailboxes now, drop boxes for mail that we can take out, but other people can shove stuff in.
Now, see,
the postal system will now work.
I tried making my seat private, but people can still use it. That just didn't work for me.
You mean to sit down on your bench?
Hell yeah, it says I can make my seat private, so I tried making the seat private. It doesn't work.
Oh, I never tried that.
Did you try it? Yeah, so it's one where, depending on the item type, they do need to specify what can and can't
works
be
and what
done.
doesn't. Yeah, like I want to make my outhouse private. My outhouse needs to be private. But
I want a private outhouse, absolutely. So I don't want crafty method going and stinking it up and killing people and leaving dead bodies outside.
Exactly.
Like in the corner there.
So I think it's worth getting a whole lot of testing in this release before the final wipe, so that we can just head forward.
Well, even like a discussion on how permissions work, it's one where you end up with a lot of different information, and the variability needs to be a little bit discussed a little bit more. But you know what? This is the second iteration of item permissions, and that still says, hey, we can improve this significantly more. And then from there, it's like keep on going forward.
Oh yeah,
and
this is a major improvement. Excellent.
Yeah, this is a major improvement, and it's just a little bit confusing. And as we go through and resolve the process and actually create those tutorials on how to work with these permissions, that's where it becomes a little bit better. So,
hospitaler tutorials.
Yeah, hospitaler tutorials, but then also, how do you give permissions by name? Because if you can give permissions by name, that's where it becomes, hey, this is your chest, and you can actually rent out things a little bit better.
Yep, think we'll get there.
So,
okay.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. So, yeah, thank you, Justin.
Absolutely.
I love you, Justin. You're the best.
I love you more.
Yay, Justin.
Wait, do you love Justin more or me more?
Baby, you know I love you.
Yeah. We have to make sure we get that one clear. Okay, so then we also have, would it be possible to separate the number of monuments that can be placed in player-owned towns from the number of NPC buildings and give separate totals for each? That also includes things like dragon bones. I would like to see the number of item placements for player-owned towns to be greatly expanded.
Absolutely.
We want to make big mazes, of course.
That's right. That's right. Then after that, we have, can bleachers and stages, stage stairs, and the similar items be made player-owned town decorations that can be placed outside the boundaries of a lot, please? Yes, we need more items that can be placed in player-owned towns and placeable. So yes, hopefully. Dirty Deeds has the question, can you tell me if the spell animations are placeholders? Example, Healing Touch throws up a symbol and there's a background sound. Will that appear cooler eventually? And Gix, our animator, is actually in the studio and he will probably verify that. Yes.
Are the Dirty Deeds done cheap?
Dirty Deeds.
Hopefully.
Done with cheap.
Dirt cheap. Dirty Deeds. This is one where Gix is paying attention to our broadcast, and I know that there are things where he's actually worked on the somatic components of different spells, so that way you would actually have mouth movements as well. But yes, they aren't complete placeholders, but they are something that will probably be retouched.
Gix goes, what's the question?
If and when spell animations will be redone.
Thunder
Molly's doing
Chief.
that. We got a segue on into today's calendar. Get that knocked out. We are running short.
It's okay. And while he's looking for that answer, we can always go over the calendar. Remember, our community calendar is provided by our friends over at Avatar Circle. Avatar Circle is currently administered both by Kazan Phoenix Fire or Wrath Phoenix on the forums. All times are New Britannia time, which is the server time, game server time, which is Central Standard Time in the real world. Oh. Yes. Oh, what? Ooh. So.
Oh, was the hand in the air thing?
Yeah, so the light spell has actually changed. So yes, he is retooling some of these animations. So yes, that is coming.
It's happening.
It's happening now.
Happening.
Okay, so
Do it again.
yeah, do it again. Cast light. So today is Tuesday, July 5th. Yes. Today at noon, 3, 6, 9, and 12 on Radio Free Britannia, we do have Lunch with Laz and Jack.
That's right.
Don't watch that show.
Don't watch those guys. They ain't no fun.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. At 2 o'clock, we do have the Pax Lair Town Manager Hour, where you can hang out with Sean Silverfoot and discuss anything related to Pax Lair. That includes any one of the boroughs, including Dragon's Watch, Tonic Hill, Island of Wonders, Lockbriar, Nowhere, Sea Nymph Grotto, and Serenity Isle. At 6 o'clock on Avatar's Radio, we do have Dr. DJ Selly doing his Faster and Louder, so you can listen to some 70s and 80s guitar rock. And then if you are interested in some PvE, you can come to Owl's Head and join the EVL Monster Mash Dungeon Crawl. That's going to be between 7 and 8. Don't forget Owl's Head on the Overworld map.
Tuesday night edition.
Tuesday night edition.
Tuesday
And then the
Saturdays.
final event for today is going to be on Avatar's Radio, and that is DJ Lady Addie doing some 80s and more. And that is our calendar for July 5th in Shroud of the Avatar.
Yay!
Shroud of the Avatar. That's right. And that's going to bring us to about the wrap-up point here. Of course, for more information, you can always go out to Avatar Circle and check out the full calendar out there. You can check it out on NBNN.info/calendar. Keep you updated on all your events here in Shroud of the Avatar. Of course, we'd like to thank our sponsors out there, the folks who keep us going and help support us to help keep us doing what we do for you out there. Of course, sodacrafting.wiki, the first searchable user database for crafting for Shroud of the Avatar. Check those guys out and see what they got to offer. Our good friend Ben over at Relics by Rild, relicsbyrild.com for all your licensed Shroud of the Avatar swag. Use the promo code NBNN, get 10% off all that good stuff at relicsbyrild.com. Our friend Jacob White, sodamap.com. He's got all the information you need to travel around. Sodamap is truth, so says Lord British himself. If you ever get lost, just go to sodamap.com, use the search feature in the upper left-hand corner, type in where you're at, and you'll see it right there on the map. You'll never be lost again. Our good friends over at sodataming.com, sodacrafting.com. These guys done all the hard work for you, especially for cat wrangling, one of our favorite skills out there. And of course, last but not least, our good friends over at the Shroud Marketplace. Shroud Marketplace for all your virtual vendables. Jack, you want to tell the good folks about the marketplace?
Yes, we'll keep this short since we're out of time, almost out of time. Don't forget, Shroud Marketplace is the place to go buy or sell anything Shroud of the Avatar related. That includes services like Scrota's music service thing, where if you want Scrota to come play your event for $1, he will play
Everything you want.
Anything you want.
That's right. Just remember, no happy ending on promo.
No buku.
Or, yeah, that if you have an in-game wedding that you want, Laz, Weddings and More by Laz does have a private island. They can set everything up for you, as well as wedding dresses and tuxedos for everybody, and
Right.
go from there. So if you have an item that you want to sell in Shroud of the Avatar or a service that you want to provide for others, you can register as a vendor on shroudmarketplace.com. So please go do so.
That's right. Now, of course, Justin was kind enough to do a little liner for Weddings and More, so you can hear mention of that in Shroud Marketplace now on WRFB. As well, if you've
Excellent.
got any events going on, you've got information you want to get it out to us. Get in touch with myself, get in touch with Justin, and we'll try and get out all that information out on the radio and here on the show for you folks to get your events covered. Let's not forget our folks over in Owl Sky tonight with their event. Go check them
8
out.
o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8
happening
o'clock.
here in Hidden Vale. And of course, we want to thank you folks, the listeners, the watchers, the viewers, the people who join us every day, help make this thing happen. We love yous, we appreciate yous, and of course, we couldn't do it without you. Jack, you want to go ahead and take us on out?
Yes, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for participating. Thank you to OneField for joining us and talking to us about SodaCon. We can't do these things without you guys, and we do them for you. So thank you everybody for coming in, hanging out. Don't forget, join us in Discord. Just go to nbnn.info, click on the connect button, and then type in the name that you want us to call you, preferably your in-game name or some others. Thank you guys. We really do this for you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
We,
you.
we love you long time.
Love you a long time. $1, make 'em holler.
That's right.
Alrighty, folks, that's going to be about it for us for today. We're going to wrap it up and get out of here. I'm Laz,
I'm Jack.
It's Scroda.
and we are NBNN. Stay tuned to NBNN for more news, sports, entertainments, crazy, wild happenings. We'll bring in you the post-mortem in simulcast as it happens here on Thursday. Stay tuned for that. And of course, we got all sorts of events coming up, coming down the pipe for the wipe, coming down at the end of the month. So join us for all that information and more here on NBNN. I love this shit. Oh, yeah, that shit's so
Fish.
Uh-oh.